bag number 2, and we are building the Ecto one. Very excited about this build. Just bringing up the little heads-up display so I can actually see if anyone comments today. Didn't have that going on yesterday. Hope you're doing well. All right, here we go. Is that right? All right. Back on. So we are at we're at bag 3, step 76. We have so far built the steering. So I kind of, if I turn it side on, maybe that works. Okay, so steering's in. And I've also built this. Look at this. If I push this, the chair spins around. Is that, can you see that? Oh! So very, very excited about that. We're on to the next one bag. Bag number 3, which is in fact 2 bags. So here we go. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. We are slowly descending into madness at home. It's just a constant joy. I don't know how you were doing. So here we go. Part 2. All right. Just realised I hadn't updated it to part 2. So now it says part 2. I have been enamoured, to say the least, with this build. And we are going to get it underway with yet again another double whammy scenario where there's 6 steps for 1 step. We've got 2 red dots that sit one on top of each other. We've got 1 blue square, and it goes the blue square. It goes the red dots. It then proceeds to a black brick, followed by no, not a 4, but a 3. A 3. Another 3. Here we go. And then into, what is that? A 2 brick down. And then a 1 kind of thing down. Here we go. Followed by a blue and then a white, which is not that one. Okay, we're in deep now. Sometimes there's so many bricks, the container that we use isn't necessarily all that helpful. All right. Step 76 is done. That involves 14 bricks. They're making a mockery of the steps. Okay, so a long... there, and then that and that, which goes there and there, followed by that, right, Okay. All right. It's what we're doing. Flip over. Now we're going to start building more components that kind of, I guess this is the alternate rear seat. So the first one we put in is the Spinaroonie seat, which is like really amazing. Like there's quite an amazing gear setup to make it do that. And I love it. I love that. So we're going to work our way on the next part, which involves putting together, I'm guessing, the outside door. Certainly seems to be what it looks like. Yep. There. Lots of like just amazing little details. Like you can really tell the difference between like a $50 Lego set and then like a $250 Lego set. There is a lot more action right now. Very impressive. Yeah. Okay. Two of those ones go together. And then there's also this, which sits like there. Doing two of those. So that there. And then we're going to do a little front nosy bit. All right. And then those sit on the back. Right. I don't know where that grey bit goes. Oh, they flipped it. Okay, so like that. Like that. And then there's two of these, maybe. Do I have to put a sticker on one of them? Yep, got to put a sticker on. Here we go. 13. RTV. Boom. Okay. That. Okay, that probably makes sense. And then that. I was wondering why it wasn't up high enough. It was just because we'd missed steps. Hopefully I haven't missed any more steps. Okay, so now we're doing white squares that sit out over the fringe here. And then there is also a large one that sits at the back here with some blue little bits that sit in front of it. There we go. And then we've also got some of these. All right. Cranking along now. That's all done. Now we look like we're starting to work on a rear mechanism for this bad boy, which includes some more Technics builds. So start off with a yellow rod, which I'm not seeing. There it is. with a sprocket. Here it is. Boom. The sprocket sits on the inside, followed by... Not seeing it. Hopefully I haven't used it. It's like a 4 with a hole in the middle of it. So, still building away on bag 3 now. There it is. Like that. And then we're going to put a little bit over the top. Like such. And then there's another black rod that I guess holds this whole Technics thing in place. I have no clue what this is for. I'm going to count off where it sits. Okay, I'm going to do the yellow part first, so I can actually figure out where it goes. Black part there. Black part there. Okay, here we go. So those are like that. And then there is a black square that sits over the side of it, which you can't see. No. Okay, a bit lost right now, team. There we are. Okay, so this one is going to sit here. And then this one, which I am assuming is now officially... Okay, now I get it. And now we go here. All right. Okay, this is now making some sense. So we've basically put a gear in that turns... Well, it only turns one wheel. Am I missing something? Okay. I won't worry about it too much because I feel like it all comes together at the end anyway. This sat over here. That. Okay. I think we're now moving forward. We're now progressing. Page 82, step 82, 527. There's 600 steps. Early days, team. Early days. This is where we're at. An impressive looking base with one of my favorite features. Look at this. Boom. Is that not fantastic? There's like a little spin share. There. Oh, well, welcome, Whitaker. I appreciate that. Yeah, the kiddos are around, and I do like to encourage them to come in and build. I think they're inside just a bit cranky right now, so I've just left them in there and snuck out here. Trust me, the moment that they notice that I'm streaming, they will come out and join us again. I know that Max is mad about building this, so I have no doubt that we will see him sometime soon. So, but thanks for jumping in on the stream. I'm sure the kiddos will be back shortly. There is something fun about building Lego with the kids. But when they're in a dirty mood, it makes it less fun. So we're just kind of plugging away at a build, the Ecto 1. Oh, I remember that pirate ship one too. I think it was like part of Like it was called Lego Pirates. Like it was the first one that was like branched away from like the Moon series, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, no, I totally that was a yeah, that was like a really defining big new Lego set back in the day, the Pirates ones. Fun build. I think that the challenge is, I don't know, let me do this. There we go. So now you can see all the sets behind us right now, but these are all the ones that I kind of build for me to hang out in the mix. So my daughter's here now. She might pop in and say hi. This is Rubes.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to tell you we found the funny photo
Oh, which funny photo?
where I was almost falling out of the wagon while you were pulling.
Oh, it's a good photo. Good times.
Fun times. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Enjoy the build.
Can you tell Max that I'm building in here? Because I think he really wants to play a part in this one.
Okay.
So.
What about me? I did too.
Well, you built on the last one. You did
Okay.
You've done two. This is the problem. When you're getting kiddos in on it, it has to be even. And I think, unfortunately, with this monster build, it's very hard for stuff to be evens. Oh, see ya. There we go. Kind of building away on the... We're now kind of putting together the side parts, I guess, for the wheels, maybe? I don't know. It's a very unique setup. I'm sorry. I was getting confused. My daughter is a bit like the hi and bye. Hi, bye. Here's a very urgent and important story that I need to tell you immediately, and then I'm going to get on out of here. Bye. It's like, thanks. I'll stop. Okay. So we go like that, and then like that. Right. What is that? What is he? I'm just looking at your emoji, which is a very fun emoji. What is that? It's like a rolling laugh. Very good. Is that like a laughing? Is that like but your face laughing emoji? I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to add on to Twitch like custom emojis for everyone, but I can't figure out how to do it. So I love the fact that you're using a custom emoji. And I'm such a dad. I don't even know how to set it up for my own stream. I'm like, I'd love to have it. Anyway, good stuff. Good job by you. It's great. Oh dear. Starting to show my age. Here we go. I think this is going to be, this is going to be the rear. This is going to sit here somewhere for sure. This is going to be the rear part of the Ecto one. I'm pretty convinced. Not 100% convinced because I have found out that multiple times I can be very wrong at guessing what this is. So, right. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I've got to get up to actually 3 people commenting on this stream at any one time at the same time. I think I'm still missing that event. Kind of looking forward to it actually happening. When you come out of doing breakfast radio and then make a dive into Twitch, and it's very different from your breakfast show, you don't exactly pull too many of your fans over with you. So I've just kind of reset, and then I'm just going to have fun from the start of it again, you know, and just kind of learn a new platform and what you can do on it and what you can't do on it. So yeah, so I've got I think I've got 3 of the 5. I think I've streamed on multiple days. I've done 8 hours. I've just got to get the multiple commenters in a stream going. That needs to happen along with 50 followers. So hopefully eventually I'll get there. My premise is basically building Lego with my kids and streaming it and then doing a review of it at the end. It's not very complex, which I'm sure there's about 1,000 people who do. Now, I moved on from radio. It was actually part of the reason was I wasn't actually getting enough time with the kiddos. And so, you know, it was kind of requested that you be this super fun, awesome, happy dad on air, but the truth of breakfast radio hours was it was really difficult for me. When I got home, I was just super exhausted and found it very challenging. And so being out of breakfast radio has been really healthy for the family. I mean, we are also in lockdown right now, so I'm at home all the time, which is really good. Yeah. So Whitaker, do you stream on? Are you Twitch on here streaming as well? I don't actually know what I'm trying to say, but I think you do. But yeah, I was on breakfast radio for 5 years, to answer your question, and it was a lot of fun. It honestly was a really good time. Blue. I find there's just so many pieces in one step. If it makes you feel better, man, too, I feel like I have a face for radio as well, but I'm not on it. And so I was like, I'm just going to start Twitch streaming. And I do play a little bit of Destiny, and I just haven't got around to actually streaming me playing Destiny because it's usually right at the end of the day and I don't want to talk to anyone after the kiddos go to bed. And so I was like, oh, I need something that I can do that will involve the children. And so this has been it, kind of Lego building. But this particular build too is like much more of an adult's Lego build. So I don't anticipate the kiddos ducking in their heads a whole bunch because there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of steps. But I guarantee you they will float in and out and be part of it at various different moments throughout the day. So what do you stream when you're on Twitch? I might as well interview you. I mean, I think the kind of changing of the format for media gives everyone the opportunity to, you know, kind of broadcast. You know, back in the day, it was like just a select few people who could do radio. But these days, you know, like with the advent of all the different streaming services, those doors kind of open up now to really everyone. That's probably why I have it back to front. Okay. Well, like I play Destiny. I've played a bit with Outriders. I don't know if I like Outriders. The storytelling of Bungie is so good. Like I even downloaded, because I got the Game Pass or whatever for Xbox. I've been playing through Halo 5, and I just feel like 343 Studios, when they took over from Bungie, they're just trying a bit too hard. Like, and so they're the games I'm playing right now. Of course, a little bit of Gears of War. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the new release of that. I thought that was really good. Have you got any favourites right now, mate? There's like so much happening on this build. I'm just making sure I'm up to speed. Yeah, I always feel like you've got to have like a purpose in what you're doing. And mine was, like, you know, because I come out of radio, I'm like, I want to spend more time with the kiddos. Like, I don't want to straight away get into streaming that doesn't involve them in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like with Lego, you can float in and you can float out. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was a very good solo experience at all. I concur, my friend. That is an apt explanation. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. But story's everything. Like, I want to feel connection with the character. And I play a tank in Outriders, and I just keep on thinking to myself, I don't really feel super connected to this character in any way, shape, or form. Division, Wildlands. You see, I haven't played either of those. You give them the thumbs up? Oh, you see, I think I like future games. I'm always about space aliens. Sometimes it hits me too much in the reels when it's like, this is set in today's. You're like, oh, now I'm starting to feel it. Now I'm starting to get all anxiety riddled. Whereas I feel like in the future, the apocalypse happened hundreds of years ago. And I feel like I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'm in the future here. And the future is still bad. I've seen the Division come up a few times. It has been recommended to me by the algorithm, and I typically trust the algorithm. Certainly the algorithm on Instagram seems to know what I like, and so does the one on Netflix. So I have no doubt that the Microsoft one is probably switched on to the things that I enjoy. I think we're putting together like the lights that go on the back side of this, and it really is super detailed. Like, I don't typically buy expensive Lego sets. And it's not like Lego sponsors this, because you can tell from the stream. But this has been, like, it's just really detailed. Super, super detailed. Just adjusting. I've made some mistakes. So do you do like is State of Decay, like is that a new, like, set in this time kind of, is that the genre? Or is that State of Decay 2 or 3 or whatever we're up to? I forget. Just Cause? I'm just trying to think of the other one. Oh, I downloaded Tetris recently. Honestly, I love Tetris. And the new version is spot on. Just Cause, yeah, okay. I thought Just Cause might be in the wheelhouse. Such a geek. I'm like, should have done games reviewing instead of breakfast radio for mums. That would have been my sweet wheelhouse of communication. All right. Okay. The one that I was eyeing off that I never got to play, but I always loved the movies, like a sniper movie. So like Sniper Elite. I've heard good things about. I forget which one, but it's apparently impossibly hard, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if you ever played Ninja Gaiden on like it's probably Xbox, I guess, 360. But that was like an amazingly difficult game, and I really appreciate super super crazy hard games. Like I don't want to be good at it straight away. I need to know that there is a massive learning curve, and I'm going to get annihilated in certain areas unless I get good at this. I kind of like games like that. Here we go. We are now putting together. I want to say this is like probably the rear door of it, maybe. I don't know. There's like some unique pieces. I don't know if we can see that. That is not a usual piece. Yeah, that's what I'm in for, is the bullet camp. Whittaker, you've nailed it. I'm all about that bullet camp. That just looks amazing. Anyway, that is like this. So right, I think. We're doing some kind of creative rear bumper setup here right now. I want to say it goes like that and like that. And then there's a red piece that goes on top. All right. That looks good. And I just think like also building Lego with the kids is just like one of those memory making exercises, right? Like you get to sit down and create something together. And I'm not exactly gifted at like building at home. And so I just think that this is a really, like I'm not a carpenter or a chippy, you know, like, so I just think this is like a really good way of doing this. So that's I reckon that's the rear. I basically put on the rear. It's like the rear quarter of the Ecto one. We've still got like half a bag to go, which is like an impressively big bag. I keep on arguing because I play in a clan with Destiny, and I keep on arguing with the guys that like a testicle shot should be considered a critical shot. Like, I'm sorry, it might be controversial that everywhere's a critical shot, but if headshots are critical and chest shots are critical, then testicle shots should also be a critical shot, and they need to be included. It's good to know that Sniper Elite has picked up on that and said, I'm going to do that. Washi, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're going well. All right. We are working on the rear bumpers. I should put that up. There we go. It's the Ecto one. Just so you know what we're building. Disastrous. All right, here we go. Now I think we're doing hubs. That's my guess. You have to. The NPC didn't do anything wrong. Speaking of which, I am looking forward to, what is it, Freeman or whatever it is, the new Ryan Reynolds one. I just feel like it's a genius idea for a movie. So you do spend a lot of time regretfully apologizing to characters in games. I feel you. All right. So I think this. No. Ooh. Okay. So that is going to go there, but it needs that. Okay. Here we go. Sorted. Yeah, so we just did a hub, which is pretty rad. I don't know if I can zoom in on that. So that's a hub for the Ecto at the back here, I'm guessing. This is going to be a huge build. Free guy, that's it. Oh, looks awesome. Oh, Deadpool was, I mean, trying to keep this family friendly, this channel, but Deadpool was a great movie. So good. All right, so now we're working on the other hubcap, which will go over on this side. So I'll flip us around so we can see. There we go. I don't know. Washi, you still there? You said hello one time. There we go. I find too, like you build Lego more and more and more, and you you didn't scare anyone off. You just came in mid conversation, and that's all good. Like you learn more and more about like Lego that like they design stuff certain ways. So like this has like three of them are empty, and then one of them is filled, and then that tells you the way that you need to orientate it onto the piece, which I think is just like really smart construction. I'm assuming that's going to go there. I assumed correctly. All right. Now we're putting on some of the flat, smooth parts, it looks like. I'm just going to orientate this so I know where I'm working, but it may mean that I'm kind of working blind. There we go. Large, and then a small, and then a large, and then a small. 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 Large. All right. Just think if a third person comes in here, Whitaker, and starts commenting in the stream, I'll hit my next checkpoint for streaming. That'd be great. 3 people commenting at the same time. Oh, man, I'd really feel like I'm achieving stuff then. All right, here we go. We're doing the big one. Bumper bar. It's bumper. Bumper, baby. Just had that song come into my head. Pull up to my bumper, baby. Take a little ride. Ba-da-ba-ba. Pull up to my bumper, baby. All right, here we go. Just need to put the little dot parts on. one side and on the other side. There. And now we're going to put squares on. Square on, and then we're going to put another square on over here as well. All right, and now we're going to load it up along the top. Take a little time, time. All right, that and that, and a single, and 2 more doubles. We will be well on our way to having the full setup going. I'm going to do some of these, some of these. Put a little red connector on. So this is going to be the rear bumper. I just got to stick on the logo, which of course is the Ecto 1. Ecto 1 label going on. Whoop! Boom! Focus in on that. Ecto 1 underway. I forget which one I was building on the other day, but they had us. Maybe it was. Maybe it was Forks the Phoenix. No, it wasn't Forks. I think it was one of Maxo's built this. I got him like a red Ferrari to build. I don't even know. I probably still have the booklet in here for it. But we built that together the other day. And I get really frustrated when he kind of breaks them, right? So there are the occasional build that we do where I'll say, listen, you are allowed to break this one. Like if you break it, I'm not going to be frustrated at you. And so we built this Lego one, and then he immediately smashed it. But as part of it, there was like a section where we were building like the strips on the panel on the side, and they had like 13 of these side by side, which is tedious, but it looks really good once it's done. So, and this one, yet again, it's just like a phenomenally detailed piece, this one. I said this before, I will say it again, that the effort that these guys go to with their details for some of these builds is like phenomenal. Like we are putting wine jugs into claws, and we're about to put these discs, guessing over that either side. So they go over the top, followed by like a red disc. Okay. So you want me to do a red disc insert into each of the sides for the lights at the back. It's just like impressively complex. That's all I'll say. And so this will be the rear bumper for sure to the Ecto one. There is no doubt about it. But I don't know if I can, if I show you like that, you can see the detail on it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not here for... I don't imitate sexy gamer girl particularly well. So I've just opted to be bumbling dad, which I play extraordinarily well. Very good character of mine. I mean, I do have an Overwatch chair that's got a bunny rabbit on it. The Diva chair. I bought it because it was on sale. So... But yeah, I'm never going to be able to pull off the... Look at that. Unreal. All right. Now we get into this. That is right. Oh, because it folds down over the top of that. Of course it does. It's just, sometimes I feel like I was born like 20 years too late. Like I had some gaming prowess back in the day where I would dare say that I was, kind of competitive on a few fronts. But just trying to figure out where that goes. Like there. Okay, there. But that streaming just didn't exist. And now it's just like, it's like all the rage. There we go. But I feel like you embrace your inner dork. You do what you can do. You do what you're into, because doing the things that you're passionate about, like passion translates. It was like one of the things you used to do in radio is that when someone was passionate about something, you push in on it. What do you mean by that? What are you talking about when you say that? And then that would get them more excited. And it doesn't, like it could be something that's not necessarily super interested. But if you get someone talking about their passion, because they're passionate about it, it's infectious. And I used to love that when I was doing interviews on air. And I always feel like that's like one of the keys to whatever you end up doing is like, I'm never going to be the world's greatest gamer, but I can be a bumbling gamer dad or a dad who's building Lego with his kids. And that makes sense and it feels natural and I actually thoroughly enjoy it. So, push in on the things that you love and invest time into that. Bag 4. Bag 4. I did this with like the Millennium Falcon. I just had it in the background to inspire me every single time. All right, I think we'll do, because we did bag 3 and 4, 1 and 2 in part 1. We'll do bag 3 and 4 in part 2, and then we'll pause for a bit after that. That one goes there. When you see a big bit and you're like, that definitely isn't an extra. I've got an extras bowl behind me, which has all the pieces from the last few builds. And I just steadily fill it up just in case I need an emergency piece. Sorry? Yeah. I always try and put it in the because there's so many different kinds of, like there's like 5 different Lego Batmobiles. So I feel like you've got to put like the Lego build number in there so you know exactly what it is. And then I always have to say, I'm building the Lego Ecto 1. It's like, it's there. That's what I'm building. And I am just chatting. Because, I live in Sydney and we're in lockdown right now. So we're not going to get out anytime soon. And I might do that actually. I'm bringing in a third bowl. I'm having a smaller, medium, and large is out on the table. And that's the way I'm building now. All right. Here we go. Black, red square. Another red square. I got a buddy of mine who usually jumps in on this stream and is not on right now because she keeps on texting me to tell me that the Comic-Con online stuff is happening right now. I don't know if, not that I'm trying to compete with Comic-Con, but. Yep. Yeah, 15 months to slow the spread. I think they've been saying 2 weeks. And then they say 2 weeks again. And then they say 2 weeks again. And we're just like, listen, we understand that this will continue for some time. Are you where are you located in North America somewhere? I don't know. I'm just guessing. But yeah, they keep on saying 2 weeks, but it's not going to be 2 weeks. Canada, yeah. East Coast, West Coast. I spent a little time in Vancouver and then got inland to, I want to say, Alberta for a bit, which was very pretty. Also got some buddies that live in Regina and Saskatchewan. But I've never made it across all the way to Toronto. Which side are you on? I mean, you don't have to tell me, but interviewing is what I used to do. So just interviewing you. Ontario. Beautiful. Though Ontario doesn't feel like it's quite East Coast, West Coast. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. I lived in Arizona for a few years. In fact, my kids were actually born in Phoenix. That. Okay, I'm like missing some. There it is. I thoroughly enjoyed the time I got to spend in Canada. Like, really beautiful place. Really beautiful people too. Unbelievably nice. I just started watching. I want to say it was Suke. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Sook? Maybe Sook. In Canada. Big Timber on Netflix. It was amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed that series. It's like about giant alpine loggers. All right. Got to throw on a number 1 on our lowest panel here. This one has plenty of rust on it, our Ecto one. Just putting some more rust on it. And then that is actually going to sit. So I don't know if you can see here, but this is actually going to clip over the top of this. Like this. So, and then this one here is like which way does it go? It's like a button. So you actually push it in. You see that? And that makes the chair swivel. When you push it in, the chair swivels. Just think that it may. I think that's what I like. I don't know, I'm just reading what you're saying. Oh, it's the eastern part of the country. If you split the country in half. Yeah. It's inland. Yeah. Oh, this is one of the things I love most about Lego is that, like, I feel the same way as you. Like, what is this actually going to look like when it's done? There's no way it's going to look as good as that. That looks amazing. But it does. I bought the cheap Millennium Falcon. My dream build is like the big Millennium Falcon, which is probably everyone's dream build. So like a 36-hour build. But look at this little one. That's the little Millennium Falcon. Hold on, let me just hold on to it. And it's got like a full-on, it's got multiple different zones that you can open up that people can sit in, including like a little jettison ship that sits in there. I think this was like the first stream I ever did, right? And then it's also got a detachable pod that sits up the front, which I can't remember how you get it off, but there's a pod section that sits up the front. Like this looked as good as the picture when it was finished. It's like an amazing build. And that's the basic one. That's like the $200 one. You know how they got like the small, medium, and large? That's the small Millennium Falcon, and I still think it's stunning. This is from radio days. I always wear a headset so I can just, be attentive. I flip him around so it actually lines up with what I'm doing. That. One of these. One of these. Two blues. Yeah, and it came with so many minifigs, that one. That I don't. There is a latch to detach it, but that center part comes out, which is like amazing. I mean, the one that I built last time with the girls is this one, the Phoenix, and it flaps, which is like there's this cool little Technics inside bit that's just like amazing. I love it. All right, now we're building more sidewalls. It looks like white. I don't know where the kiddos are. Usually they pop out by now and they want to play a part. I think everyone's just completely losing their minds right now. And so we're just gently spacing out from each other so as not to cause any more hostility or frustration. I will request that Max attends the next one, which of course he wants to do, but he wants to be invited to be a part of them. He gets quite frustrated when I start building by myself. And in fairness, he probably makes the stream better. But sometimes you just want to kind of crack on and get building. There we go. I struggled when I was in Phoenix about being away from the ocean. Like that was one of the hardest things for me, was actually not being able to get to the coast. Like where I live here in Sydney, you can get to the water really quickly, and I love that. Okay, I'm going to put 4 on. But I guess if you grew up in Ontario, then you're not thinking about how close you are to the water, right? Like Whereas Aussies probably tend to think about that a lot. How far am I away from the ocean? It's a big deal. Okay. So I've now kind of built up the side panel with a door. I don't know if I... yeah. Yeah, there's something soothing for me about being around the ocean, like restorative. I was talking about this with someone the other day. I was saying, oh, like I really love being around the ocean, and he says, the reason is because the ocean doesn't care. Like whatever's going on in your life, right? The ocean will always be the ocean, and it keeps on doing what oceans do. And it kind of reminds you of how small you are in the world, and then, again, how small you are in the universe. And he's like, so when you're having a really bad day, you can go out into the ocean and you can be with the waves. The waves don't stop being the waves, whether or not you're happy or sad or angry or cranky. They just continue to wash over you. And it's almost like a reminder of how grand the universe is and how insignificant your problems are now, just in the light of the little waves that are hitting up against you. And it's almost like a nice way to kind of reset yourself and go, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. There's bigger problems. There's bigger things than what's going on in my life right now. And the waves kind of, you take a moment, you just let them wash those worries away. That's always kind of been my attitude towards the water. And as a Christian guy, that's kind of, like I'm like thankful to God for putting it there, to give me a reminder of my insignificance and the kind of the wonder of the things that are around me. So it was a bit deep, I know. It's just talking about waves. Oh, the lakes. Yes. You see, this was the thing when I was in Phoenix. We go up to the lakes, and the lakes are freshwater, and there's no sharks in them. And so you're like, not that I'm concerned about being eaten by a shark, but you're always like, oceans are big and ferocious, but you get to these enormous lakes in America, and they're super fun, and they're freshwater, and there's no giant sharks in them. And you're like, gosh, these are fun. And I would imagine in Ontario that you've got plenty of water, right? All right, so we go there, and then we're going to add on, I don't know, this is like a foot pedal or something. Something just happened and I'm a bit confused about where I was. Yes, that is a concern. There is a large population of koalas that have chlamydia. That is, in fact, an accurate statement. Dirty, dirty koalas. Okay, so that one goes like that. That one goes like that. And we've got two of these. Dingoes are not so scary. I mean, dingoes are like just big dogs. Wolves would be way scarier than dingoes. Bears would be way scarier than kangaroos. Kangaroos are delicious. Like a very lean meat. A little bit gamey. Not dissimilar to venison. Very confused about like that, maybe. Okay, I think I figured out what they want me to do. Okay, I think I just installed the gas pedal for this Ecto 1. Speculative, unclear, but it definitely feels like part of the gas pedal. It's now asking me to put a 3 thing on. Okay. Well, I think right now the Australian government is working on a zero transmission policy, right? So the goal is to get everyone vaccinated. So I think it's 95% of the population vaccinated with a zero transmission policy. Now, the problem is that in New South Wales right now, there's anywhere about 150 cases of COVID, which has been an explosion over the last 4 or 5 weeks, okay? So what they're trying to do is urgently roll out vaccinations amongst the Australian population, but what they did have as kind of a multi-tier approach now has kind of had to go into full force, and they're now starting to try and react to it. So we find ourselves in a lockdown because we are trying to do a zero transmission policy, which, depending on whatever literature you're reading, is either a good idea or a bad idea or a combination of both. And so as a result, like I'm over 40, which means that I'm 2B in terms of getting the vaccination. And my wife is like 3 because she's under 40. And so I get the second part of my vaccination next week, which, kind of is good for me. But there are a number of people that are under the age of 40 who are now trying to figure all of that out. And the Australian government has just changed their policy and now have opened it up to more people, but there's not enough of the vaccine to go around for everyone, and there's multiple different versions, and you've got to figure out which version is most appropriate for you. And that is causing some tension, whether or not that's Pfizer or AstraZeneca or AstraZeneca or Moderna, I think is the other one. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had to do like media stuff. Thanks for putting me on the spot. And so it all comes down to that policy of kind of zero transmission, I guess, is what I'm saying in all of this. Stop. It's a steering wheel. Did I not do that right? I think I put the wrong... No, I've definitely got the right steering wheel. Maybe I put that in the wrong spot. Maybe that's meant to go down one. I've made a mistake. So, yeah, that's the kind of strategy for... I swear I did that right, though. Oh, no, I didn't. I did that wrong. Okay, so I've got to pop that out. I don't actually know how to get that out. I'm going to pop this off. Never use your teeth for any of this, by the way. I just did, but that's okay. I'm a trained professional. That goes there. And this goes here. And I think the Australian government is doing it that way, by the way. Yeah, so there was a case study, I think, in the USA about the failures of the Australian government on their rollouts, which is fair. Like, I don't think they've rolled it out particularly clearly or well. You know what? I'm popping this off instructions, and I'm doing this the way I feel like this is going to work for me. And so as a result, yeah, we've been put under the pump because we have, you know, I mean, this is one of the things is Australia has fairly rigid borders, right? We know because we're a giant island, who's in the country, how they got into the country for the most part, right? And so as a result of having a fairly defined border, because you're surrounded by ocean, you're not worried about transmission of people coming in and out. So early on in the process, we did a really good job of controlling the spread of that particular virus. But now we've had some, whatever it is, Delta strain come in. And so it's just kind of affected people rapidly. And now the Australian government is kind of struggling. Yeah, so you got 50% of the, which is incredible. Yeah, so we're trying to do all of that as well, but we've been slower on it. Like my mum who is living with us right now, she's fully vaccinated, and that happened like a week ago. But it's like, why did it take so long? She's like 70. Surely we could have moved faster on getting her vaccinated. Anyway, you know what? I'm not in the government. I've got to trust that they've actually got wise people figuring this stuff out. There. Okay. Now I think we're building the dash. Okay. All right. So we've got a piece that is going back here somewhere. Here comes Maxos. Hello, mate. You going to come in and help? This is Max. Turn this microphone on for you if you want. There you go. You say hi. Whitaker's online chatting with us.
Hi.
Right? This is Max. You're gonna eat into the microphone, are you? You've come in, and your first point of action is to eat. Whitaker says hi. Okay, and then we'll put a little two.
Looks good.
Does, doesn't it? I think it's really coming together, big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one. And then we've got the front on. Okay, and then I'm going to put on... Okay. Black, yellow. Yellow, black. And then overlaps. And then we're going to put this one on. If I do that and then like that, now you can talk and it's not in your face. How's that?
Good.
That's some radio technique right there. There's a blue bit that goes here.
Huh?
It's so tricky. Just you know what ASMR is, Max?
No.
It's like when you talk really gently into the microphone. I am cutting your ear right now. Max is eating an apple. That's it. You're getting it. You figured it out. What else am I looking for? Rear hub. This one maybe? And that goes on this side. Okay.
I really want a headphones.
Yes. So I've got like my setup is over to my left from Radio Days is a Rodecaster Pro. And then I've got these, which is a broadcaster and then a Procaster. They're the two microphones that I use. And I'm just using a Logi Stream Cam. And then if I want to, I can actually set up a second Logi Stream Cam, which I used to have for like the details. So I could like hold up but I wasn't very good at like working between two monitors. But I basically put on a loop back into the headset so I can hear levels and stuff for everyone. And then I've got Max's levels in my headset as well. And if I want to, I can put in a second headset for when I do interviews and stuff, or for when I used to do interviews and stuff. So if that makes sense. Always happy to talk the gear, the rig. Blue. Okay, so blue. I think I'm good. Mate, this is crazy hard, this build. There is a lot going on. Every step, at one stage, every step was 13 bricks, Max. It was quite crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, indeed.
How much pieces are there?
2,000. What does it say in the box? Can you look at the box behind you? It says it right there on the front of the box. 2,352 pieces.
18 plus.
Yep.
10. 1, 0, 2, 7, 4.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't really know what we're building here. I'm guessing some kind of an additional hub, maybe. I think.
Wee. Wee.
Is that where it goes? At the back? I'm thinking it goes like that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just double checking some stuff here because I am very confused. No, it does sit on one. Okay. It sits on one and it hangs out like that. Done. Yeah, I think this, I mean, I have been like, I'm biased toward Rode because Rode is an Australian company and there's so few Australian companies that do really amazing stuff. But their Rodecaster Pro, which is the professional podcasting thing, has like if I turn this on, it's got like a full soundboard built in that you can play, which I just think is amazing. We're building the Ecto 1 that you can like fade, and then you can put like, it's got a Aphex processor, so you can, super bass your voice and do a whole bunch of stuff to improve the sound quality, and it's, built-in compressors, quite good. And so I've been really amazed by it. And when we went into lockdown the first time when I was still on air, I was working from home for 10 weeks. And honestly, once I added the broadcaster mic, you couldn't tell if I was in studio, you know, and at the time, the studio's old, like it's like a 1970s studio. But, you know, there's at least $250,000 worth of gear in there. And I don't think you could tell the difference between me working at home and me working in the studio. Like, that's how good the build of what they've created is. I think that's extraordinary. And the device is like, I don't know, I think I bought it $900 or something, which is Australian. You know, it's a bit of money, but it's still a pretty good deal.
I'll be back.
All right. Max says he's going to be back. And even with the camera stuff, like Logi's not my preference. I just haven't figured out how to kind of link in my Nikon effectively and use the Nikon web stream or whatever it is, and because that'll make a much better picture. But I do have like lighting, like studio lights in here and stuff like that. Yeah, that's like a Logi stream cam set to like 4K basically. And because I'm like not moving a whole bunch, then I don't need major frame rates because it's like, you know, like I don't need it. So I've just been like really impressed with it. And it's like one of those things that I know the kiddos are probably going to get into doing stream stuff. And so I just kind of want to be ahead of the game on this one and just get my head around it and what's appropriate and what's safe. And I don't know, like that's just me being a dad, I guess. But it's the same with Maxos, you know. Here we go. We don't need that, do we? Super inappropriate. What did you have, like?
An apple?
No, have you had like salami or something?
No. I've had 2 crunchies. An apple.
No, you've had like, oh, is that burrito?
Yeah, that's burrito.
It stinks.
Good thing they can't smell it.
Yeah, it's a great thing, but unfortunately that's in my microphone. Stanky. I mean, photography equipment has changed like dramatically as well, right? Like my wife's a photographer, and like just even the new stuff, the mirrorless stuff is incredible. Yeah, it's a bit gross. Hey, what are you doing right now? This was like a really appropriate conversation. Okay, does that go? I'm very confused.
I am 2.
Here? Okay, that goes like that. All right, back in the game. I think he's gone completely mad, by the way. I think like everyone else here, he's got a lot of energy. He refused to go outside and play today, and so now he's just like losing his mind inside. Like that. Like this. Yeah, like the mirrorless stuff is incredible. We got like, there's probably one lying around in here, but we've got like the Nikon, however you say it, D800 or D750 and D650, and they're like great cameras and they cost a whole bunch. But you look at the new stuff and you're like, some of the stuff, the low light on the mirrorless setups is just unparalleled, and you're never going to get it on a traditional SLR. So, you know, and I think the second half of the wedding is oftentimes pretty low light, which was initially kind of what my wife did a lot of, was like wedding stuff. And you go, oh man, if we had like mirrorless setup, we're not even worried about low light stuff. It's like, yep, we can do it. It's a breeze. No problem. I mean, do you still then shoot full frame SLR? Kind of locking in just to get this final bag done. I think 2 bags is my limit per stream, honestly. After that, my back starts to ache. Get RSI from brick building. Just like, okay, that's enough from me. Just made a seat. Boom. Seat. And that seat is going to go internally. Am I missing something here? Seat. Oh, like that. Right. Now the Tracy chair isn't. It's doing jack deadly right now, man. Oh, stop. There is meant to be a gap there because that slides in behind and then genius. That's so good. My wife right now is hovering outside in a Woody. So that goes there. And then we're going to do a yellow thing with a... I need like better back support. That's what I need. I just don't think the body copes with sitting down for so long. That's all. Okay, I got to flip this around again so I can see what I'm doing. And so it actually lines up and matches. Okay, very cool. It's got like a lever that shoots the door. So this here, this little lever, shoots the seat back and forward that actually then rides on rails between the gap of the rear fins. It's like a genius build. All right. Oh, I'm convinced of that. My booty's tingling right now. I'm gonna there, little 2 at the end, little white part at the end, like that. Throw a blue part on. Throw this part on. Throw a little blue part on the end. All right, here we go. Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably connected to the newest new one. I why does that do that? I'm going to add in something that's not on the instructions, but I feel like it needs it. There's like a gap in this corner, and it doesn't look like there's any reason for it other than, it's just part of the design. But I think it's going to bother me. So I'm going to add in a green puck to customize it as mine. I've got no other reason for doing it other than that kind of gap was going to bother me the whole time. Hello to our latest viewer who has joined us. Welcome. You can see from behind me, that is what we're building. Oh. Looks a little rocky, a little shaky. But we're going to add in that. And that is going to sit over this like that. Incredible. It's not going to bite me. I'm telling you right now. They just had a little gap there, and you can't slide. I'm convinced that this little green puck is a win. That's my own addition. This is now the rare ultra modified build. The Ultra Robo Ultra Modified build. So you can mock me ruthlessly if that comes back and bites me in the rear end at the very tail end of this build. If I've made a horrible decision in putting a green puck there, then you have permission to mock me. 100%. Yeah, it's a $0 bet for sure. That. Okay, I think I'm pulling together the console now for what catches our little green friends and stores them until they get back to base station to put them in. This is the entire control panel for our onboard Ghost storage. And yet again, incredibly detailed. I'll hold it up once I'm done. But really impressed so far by the scale of detail of everything going on in this thing. Yellow one and a red one. Like that. Okay, look at that. Bob. Keep it. Forget right in. Anyway, that's it there. I think I'm going to have to bring back the all right, that's where it's going. Sorry, I've got a big, long one of these, and I don't know where it goes. I'm just trying to figure that out now. Which is a little heart-wrenching because you're like, that's big enough and important enough that I probably should have put that somewhere. And I don't know where it should go. Does it go in there? I don't think so. Unless it goes in there. I don't think it goes in there, does it? Did I miss that? Surely not. No, it doesn't go in there. All right, that piece may cost me later. I'm now... that should go somewhere. And yet it's in the bowl. And I don't know where it should go. Oh, well. We are on to bag number 5. I need to say I'm absolutely loving this build. Lots of fun. Lots of really cool parts. We've got a steering wheel now in place that works. We've got a seat that if I push, shoots out and rotates, which is amazing. And then we've also got the slide mechanism for the seat, which is unbelievable. Again, just really impressive. All right, so that's the build. I'm going to end the stream there. But Whitaker, thank you so much for tuning in and being my wingman for this build. Appreciate it. Thank you to Max for his cameo, Ruby for her even shorter cameo. This has been the Ecto 1 Part 2 build. We're going to come back with bags 5 and 6. I will actually start to get towards doing regular streams at regular times. I just have to figure out when that works in the schedule. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I will catch you again soon. Bye.